Buenos dias from Tatsminda. This is the Rorschach Spain update from the 20th of June, 2024. Quick summary of what's going down in Spain. First up, an update from Catalonia. On Monday the 17th, Charles Puigdemont, the former president of the Catalan parliament, accused Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez of blackmailing the Republican left of Catalonia, or Esquerra. This follows Sánchez's effort of a unique financial agreement to Esquerra in exchange for supporting the leader of the Catalan opposition and head of the Catalan Socialist Party, Salvador Ilia's bid to become president of the Generalitat. Financial terms would grant Catalonia more power, allowing it to manage 100% of its taxes rather than the current 9%. Puigdemont criticized the negotiations between Esquerra and Sánchez's Socialist Workers' Party, or PSOE, saying that the Prime Minister's proposal undermines Catalonia's demand for fair treatment. Puigdemont warned that this deal could threaten Together for Catalonia, Junts Catalunia's support for the PSOE in Congress. Next up, Spain has fallen to last place in defense spending among NATO allies. Since Russia's large-scale assault on Ukraine in February 2022, NATO defense spending has surged, with member nations reaching an average defense spending of over 2% of their GDPs. However, Spain currently contributes only 1.3% of its GDP to NATO defense spending. Sánchez has continuously expressed his support for Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's president, and his country's defense against Russia. Spain says it aims to reach 2% by 2029. In environmental news, Spain's green energy sector faces an old challenge despite its rapid growth. Country's success in renewable energy has led to an imbalance between supply and demand, with electricity consumption falling even as GDP rises. Excess generation has driven electricity prices to zero, or even less than zero during peak solar output, deterring investment. Since 2018, Spain has been investing heavily in its green energy sector. The country is now the second largest renewable energy producer in the EU, with Sweden the first. To address this, the government aims to electrify over 30% of the economy by 2030, switching it over from fossil fuel reliance. According to the latest Black Flags report of the Spanish environmental organization Ecologistas in Acción, the number of environmental issues affecting beaches in the country has increased. In their report, Ecologistas in Acción identified 48 beaches across Spain in severe environmental conditions, with sewage spills, marine litter, and intrusive urban development notably impacting the Canary Islands. The report released last week highlighted problems such as chemical spills, light and noise pollution, and inadequate waste purification. A 3-year investigation led by the Guardia Civil, with support from Europol, European law enforcement agency, resulted in the dismantling of a major drug cartel. The operation ended on Wednesday the 12th after a series of coordinated actions across Europe and South America, targeting the cartel's entire supply chain. The cartel's network shipped large quantities of cocaine from Colombia, Brazil, and Ecuador to the EU, using logistical hubs in West Africa and the Canary Islands. On Sunday the 16th, political parties Podemos and Izquierda Unida led a Republican march in Madrid demanding the abolition of the crown and declaring Felipe VI the last king. The anti-monarchist march was held on the 10th anniversary of King Felipe VI's proclamation. According to the government delegation, the march attracted around 4,000 people, although, according to the organizers, they say the number was closer to 30,000. March, with attendees holding banners saying 10 years are enough, aimed to highlight the party's issue with monarchical power and the concept of monarchy in modern Spain. From black beaches to green algae, multiple studies by ecologists and local authorities have shown that the algae have devastated the seabed along the coast of Cadiz, reducing biodiversity and harming tourism and commercial fishing. Fishing industry faces severe losses due to damage to the marine ecosystem, prompting calls for more research and better management strategies. The algae's rapid multiplication and survival ability in various conditions have made it particularly destructive. Local governments are struggling with cleanup costs, with Estepona in the province of Malaga removing over 18,000 tons of algae since 2020 alone. That's a lot of algae. Other news, a surge in drowning has alarmed authorities in Alicante this summer. As the summer approaches, between the 1st and 10th of June, 12 separate drownings occurred in the Alicante province of Valencia. The cause of death has been linked to strong Levant winds, which led to dangerous currents in the sea. Most incidents occurred despite the presence of lifeguards and warning flags, and both tourists and locals were the tragic victims of the drownings. Antonio Zamora, a rescue coordinator, called for a national plan similar to traffic safety, emphasizing the need for public awareness and stricter regulations. Local governments have been urged to enhance lifeguard services and improve preventive measures. Throughout the next couple of weeks, Spain's climate will be turbulent, influenced by an African subtropical weather storm and a Dana, a high-altitude weather depression. Duncan Wingen, meteorologist from Meteored, a worldwide weather application, warns that bad weather could affect Spain over the weekend, bringing showers and strong thunderstorms. Due to southerly winds, the east of Spain and the Balearic Islands will experience high temperatures and dusty conditions, which will lead to tropical nights. Saharan dust will also affect the eastern mainland and the Balearic Islands, while temperatures in the south could reach between 36 and 38 degrees Celsius, which is between 96 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. In football news, Spain's kicked off their 2024 UEFA European Championship with an emphatic win against Croatia on Saturday the 15th. La Roja beat Croatia 3-0 in their opening game of the European Championship. Spain is generally considered to be among the top 5 teams most likely to win the tournament. Other sports news, round 10 of Formula One season will occur in Barcelona this weekend for the Spanish Grand Prix. Red Bull's Max Verstappen leads the Drivers' Championship after winning the last race in Canada. Still, many in Barcelona will be watching the two national icons, Spanish drivers Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya was once home to Formula One testing before it moved to Bahrain in 2021. This Grand Prix will be the penultimate event held at the Barcelona course before Madrid takes over in 2026. Researchers from the University of Córdoba have discovered the oldest wine ever found in liquid form inside a Roman urn in Camorra in southern Spain. 2,000-year-old reddish-brown liquid, initially white wine, was discovered in an untouched Roman tomb. Analysts revealed it to be a sherry-like local wine, but the wine was also stored with the ashes of a Roman man and gold ring. Chemical tests confirmed the liquid's composition, matching local Andaluz wines. The findings, reported in the Journal of Archaeological Science, highlighted the advanced preservation techniques of ancient Romans. Researchers joked about tasting the wine, but refrained due to its contact with human remains. Maybe the oldest, probably not the tastiest. And finally, a new Spanish documentary, The Boy in the Suit of Lights, premiered in the Sheffield Documentary Festival. In the UK, the documentary follows the story of Borja, a boy from a small Spanish town whose grandfather, Matias, encourages him to pursue bullfighting despite its controversial status. The documentary is directed by Inma de Reyes, a Spanish filmmaker who lives in the UK, and is focused on portraying the cultural pressures and limited opportunities faced by children in traditional communities, including those born in and around the controversial topic of bullfighting. More in the show notes. And that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. Hey, listeners, we have an unusual question for you. Have you ever had to choose a restaurant or a movie or something like that with a group of friends or family? It was not so easy to choose, took a long time, a lot of messaging, maybe a little divisive or unpleasant. Rorschach is working on a way to make that easier. If you're interested, we could use your help with a very quick survey. If you want to help us out, let us know at info@rorschach.com. And thank you. Hasta la próxima.